Such a weird thing to do as a parent. Don't do that. If you think about it, don't do it. That would be crazy. Ow. Gonna need some good light. Yeah, it just hurts. Well, it doesn't hurt. It's just a bit like numb now. Like, you know, like that pain. You know, the numb pain I'm talking about, where like the pain is kind of like residing, but it's like slowly fading away, but still like at the tip, it's still there. That's basically what it feels like. Oh well. It happens. As long as it doesn't bleed or nothing's broken, we should be fine. That's when we find out that it's like internal bleeding happening in my finger. It's like, oh shit! Finger's just like, next day just swollen to like 5 times its size. It's like, gotta go to the doctor before I have my flight to catch. And they're like, yeah, we gotta amputate your finger. It's like, what? What? Why? Well, clearly you bumped your finger a bit too hard. We gotta amputate it. That's the only way. The things I gotta do. And then next stream, you guys see me like with my the right index finger being way shorter than usual. And I'm like, you see what I have to do for this? You see what I'm going through for these streams? And I don't have more than 70. I don't have more than 75 followers on YouTube, huh? You see what I'm going through? Well, actually, my YouTube is going at a decent pace. Like, it's not fast, it's not slow. It's just a decent pace. All right, a boat ride is our next SCP. Here, ow! Even scrolling hurts a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, channel's still on the radar as hell. Yeah, can't do anything. No matter how many times I tell people like, hey, I'm streaming every single SCP. Hey, I'm reading every single SCP. Doesn't matter how many times I tell that to people. They're like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm not going. You do you. You do you. And at the end, I will do every single SCP. I don't care. At the end, if I end up with like reading every single SCP and my channel does not grow beyond 200, I'm be like, at least there's proof. People cannot say I haven't done it. Euclid, Area 1741 has been constructed as the primary research and containment facility for SCP-1741 and is surrounded by a 3-meter high fence with a 300-meter radius centered around -A. Civilians are to be deterred under the guise of a private property, and any non-Foundation personnel found within the containment zone are to be given Class C amnestics and released. Remote surveillance via D1741-2 is to be monitored at all times. The equipment on D1741-2's person has power. Okay, got it. After a wake event, personnel are to debrief D1741-2 on the current situation. It is weird to like read sentences like this, like remote surveillance via D1741-2 is to be monitored at all times. The equipment on D1741-2's person has power, because like when you see these long ass number, like D class numbers, like in the same sentence without a comma, you just kind of go like, this is not how it's supposed to be written. But then you read the whole thing, and you're like, oh no, it's all right, it's all correct. After a wake event, personnel are to debrief D1741. I already read that. Exploration goals, which can be found in file 1741 ELG, are to be given at this time. Description: SCP-1741 is the collective designation for a series of anomalies centered around an indestructible 2-meter tall brick shack, designated -A, located on the bank of the redacted river in the southern Louisiana. The door of -A cannot be opened. The interior of -A is only visible when the window is opened by the humanoid. -C within when this... Cousin, what is up? When this occurs, the second anomalous property of -A is revealed. Volume of the interior is vastly greater than the exterior appearance of the building should allow. We like a little bit of dimension altercations, don't we? Oh, this house from outside looks like a 4x4, but when you go in, it suddenly becomes a 16x16. Damn. Visible contents of -A resembles an establishment colloquially referred to as a soda fountain, with the window acting as a drive-through window, despite most such establishments lacking one. -B are several aquatic vehicles surrounding -A. -B instances are stylized as different marine animals, all in the various states of disrepair. Should instances of -B be removed from an 80-meter radius from -A, a new instance of -B will rise from the bottom of the river. -C is a male humanoid of European descent, dressed in a zoot suit. -C possesses no visible anomalous anatomy, though it does not appear to require nourishment and does not age. -C will attempt to sell boat rides to anyone who approaches -A. An instance of -B will spontaneously self-repair for each human who purchases a ride, the price of which is $3. The newly repaired -B will drift to the riverbank until the customer boards. Should a customer travel more than 80 meters from -A, the repaired -B will ram itself into another instance of -B and sink from the subsequent structural damage. Only one human is permitted per instance, and if more than one attempts to board, the -B will break apart. -C will not provide a refund for ships damaged in either of these ways. What the fuck is a zoot suit? I assume it's a diving suit. Well, like one of those, like, you know, the skin tight suits. Never mind, it's not. Never mind, it's absolutely not that at all. Didn't know these had names. I just thought they were suits from like the noir time, from like the 40s, man. I didn't know they were called zoot suits. The mask. Okay. I mean, let's see what the official description is. The suit consists of a broad-shouldered draped jacket, balloon-leg trousers, and sometimes a flamboyant hat. Yeah, no, same, dude. I had a different mental image as well. That's not what I expected a suit to be. I completely forgot that's what they're called, to be honest. Because now that I think about it, I do remember hearing the term zoot suit once before. I'm pretty sure one of the many English books we had to read for high school. And then like they explained it like that, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Should a customer travel more than 80... Yeah, I already read that. When a customer successfully boards, -B will autonomously travel down the river, disappearing from visual surveillance after approximately 20 meters of movement. Remote surveillance remains active, revealing the -B transports to customers to an archipelago of variable number of islands located outside of conventional space. Testing has revealed that the numbers of islands is dependent on the number of humans in the archipelago, currently 4, and space. Due to the suddenness of the transport, researchers have been unable to classify the space-time anomaly, though similarly in activation to SCP-2539 suggests it may be a variation of a Class 3 interdimensional portal. Each island holds a designation of dash number, and each exhibits a unique anomalous characteristics available in the table below. The instance of -B will crash upon the shore of the newest island and sink. Let me answer my cousin. Genau. Okay, -1. Space-time anomalies are prevalent throughout -1 source of wake events. No known occupant year. No known occupant. -2 is inhabited by a series of featureless humanoids. All humanoids are extremely violent but do not possess excessive strength. Jean-Paul Dumas, a French soldier, 1801. -3. Airborne amnestics appear to be present in the atmosphere of -3. All foods grown on -3 are apples, the consumption of which combats the amnestics. Arthur Smith, a Catholic priest, 1954. Wait, so let me get this straight. So, like, is this like an island where, where like, you forget everything constantly, but then when you eat an apple, all your memories just like just come back to you? And if that's the case, does the memory stay as long as you ate an apple, or does it like leave once the apple is digested and pooped out again? Like, how does that work? -4, majority of -4 is an expanded market filled with featureless humanoids selling and purchasing various goods using an unknown currency. This market is the only source of edible resources on -4. D17411 2003. -5 contains a sapient anomaly that claims to be a god. The anomaly does not appear to have a physical form, only appearing as a large shadow cast independent of the sun's light. D17412 2003. A wake event is a large-scale space-time anomaly centered around the archipelago. The start of the wake event requires an instigator to activate a device on -1. A wake event will cause the arrangement of the island within the archipelago to be randomized. All occupants of the archipelago are instantly returned to the instance of -B they arrived on. With all but the instigator of the wake event having lost all memory of the previous sessions, all -B will then crash onto their respective islands. I have no fucking idea. I assume you're asking this because of the. I saw when your chat popped up. It must be when I asked about the apples. Interview C1. We have interview -C. Agent Cruz. The window of -A opened when Agent Cruz came within 20 meters. -C attempted to gain his attention by yelling and waving.
Hello there, friend. My name is Alan Pierce, and I got a great offer for you. Can I interest you in a boat ride? Real cheap.
Maybe. I was wondering if you could answer some questions for me.
Fire away, bud.
How long have you been operating here?
Honestly, I couldn't say. A long time. What year is it?
You don't know the year.
The door is locked. I cannot unlock it, and this window is way too small for me to get through.
You're trapped.
That I am, friend.
It's 2003.
Oh, wow. Well, I found the shack back in 1946. Do you know how long I've actually been running it?
You've been here for almost 50 years.
Well, not exactly. I can't really get into too much detail. Confidentially, my employers don't allow me to talk too much about it. I've been here a long time, alright? Too long in my humble opinion.
Can you explain how you managed to survive for that long?
Let me think. I gotta word this right or I'll catch hell for it. Somebody, I guess a potential co-worker.
-C breaks itself and continues after 2 seconds.
Apparently I can say that. That there's some time-space shenanigans going on. I don't age so long as I'm in here. Don't need to eat either, though I have all the grub I could want in here.
You said you have co-workers. I don't see anyone else in the restaurant.
Potential being the key word. They're still in the application process.
How does one apply?
That I can't say. I know that. Really, Mac, if I keep yelling this much, I'm gonna say something I shouldn't. Get to buy a boat ride?
How much?
Only $3.
Boat ride to where? This isn't a very deep river and all your boats are broken.
It's a mystery, part of the adventure. You'll see some sights, I can promise you that. Oh boy, yeah. You will see some things. And don't you worry about the boats. I got that covered. So, interested?
Perhaps another time.
I get you. The carcass type. Don't want to pay for something if you don't know exactly what you're getting. Well, I'll be here if you change your mind. Tell your friends. Always have to see new customers.
End log. Closing statement. Background study has revealed that Alan Pierce went missing in 1949. -C physically resembles Alan Pierce, though no conclusion has been made whether -C is truly Alan Pierce or the SCP was ever for what anomaly is mimicking him. Yeah, that's always a good question, right? Like, are you actually the one that's missing, or are you just somebody pretending to be him? Always have to keep an eye about that. Exploration log 1. Chin itchy because I shaved. After the disappearance of D17411 and her -B, it was decided to attempt a second experiment using remote surveillance equipment attached to the participating D-class. Camera activates D17412 is sitting in an instance of an octopus stylized -B as it travels down the river at a slow pace. -B navigates the river to avoid other instances in debris within the river. D17412 looks to Agent Cruz, who is walking along the riverbank abreast of the boat. Agent instructs D17412 to remain calm and to prepare for the teleportation event, and to attempt communication after said event. After 20 meters, visuals instantly change. Instance of -B is now in a calm ocean, heading towards an island containing a coniferous forest. A large stone tower is visible above the tree tops. Other islands of the archipelago are visible but obscured by fog. -B shakes as if striking something. D17412 leans over the edge of the boat to confirm jagged rocks formation. -B strikes another rock, breaching the hull. -B begins taking on water. D17412 questions whether the camera is waterproof. When HQ confirms the camera is waterproof, D17412 abandons ship. D17412 swims to the shore consisting of a sandy beach. D17412 watches D-B sink before entering the forest. D17412 continues in the direction of the stone tower. Fragments of ruins are spread across the forest floor, each piece depicting unknown runes. D17412 enters a clearing in the center of which is the stone tower covered in runes. Although the sun is on the opposite side of the tower, it does not cast a shadow over D17412. D17412 walks a circle around the tower, confirming it does not cast a shadow in any direction. D17412 exits clearing, periodically turning to use the stone tower to maintain a sense of direction. 3 hours after leaving the clearing, D17412 falls to the ground. Camera vision is obscured. Shadow from both D17412 and an unknown male is heard. Camera is removed from D17412's person. A Caucasian male centers the camera view on his face and speaks in a French accent. Nah, was it good? I cannot do the French accent. I used to do it. Shit. I'm just gonna try my best. Man, I wish I could. I had it with confidence just a moment ago. Oh well. Well, hello. Yet another newcomer dressed in orange. Only this one brought toys. In order to get off the archipelago, you have to complete a test specific to your island. Unfortunately, your boy here already has made a series of mistakes. I suppose he didn't read his brochure. Male drops camera and departs. Blood, presumably D17412's, can be seen pooling at the edge of the camera's vision. No further activity until the equipment runs out of power. Because I didn't want to go to the whole. Well, hello, yet another newcomer. That's too stereotypical, you know. Like I didn't want to do that. All exploration logs can be accessed by all personnel with clearance for this article. However, exploration logs 2-11 will be redacted from this document for the sake of brevity. These explorations were used to outline the island's effects in the table above. During the logs, SCP-17412 found a brochure in his -B instance. Honestly, kudos for being able to do all those voices. my throat be in shreds. After reading this many SCPs, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. This brochure encouraged readers under the guise of being part of a tour to visit the stone tower when the sun was directly above it. Especially after reading 1730. I mean, to be fair, 1730, I didn't do that. 173, yeah, I didn't do that many voices. But yeah, always love doing different voices anyway, so. I remember, like, when I first officially started reading these things, I would try to, like, read them in different voices just to, like, make it more interesting. But then I realized how, like, sometimes they can be extremely long, so I was like, don't. Camera activates, D174 1742 is standing in the clearing 10 meters from the stone tower. A large circular shadow is being cast from the tower, shading D17412. Although no sound is detected by the surveillance equipment, D17412 claims to hear a voice. D17412 repeats the word Decalogue several times before deactivating the camera. What the fuck is a Decalogue? Well, let's look it up. What that is. The 10 Commandments. In the biblical book of Exodus, the original Decalogue or 10 Commandments was handed. Why would he say that? Interesting. Several times before deactivating the camera. Camera activates after 22 hours. Camera vision turns to the corpse of D17412, which is now clothed in dark blue robes. The hand of the person is wearing the camera touches the body. The person who then identifies himself as D17411 removes the stone prison from D17412's pocket. He explains she found D17412 dead and she is required to steal his trinket. H group briefs D17411 on the apparent temporal anomalies surrounding the archipelago. D17411 acknowledges this information and then deactivates the recording equipment. Camera activates after 13 hours. D17411 is standing on a plateau overlooking -1. It is not known how she managed this, as attempts in previous logs were met with failure. She turns to face a pedestal, the top of which resembles a clock with a small star in the center. She places her hand on the star and presses. Footage instantly changes to the perspective of D17412 in his -B approaching -5. Oh, there's some time fuckery happening here. Addendum. On the 5th, 8th, 2005, the door of -A opened and -C exited the building. The door shut without any further interaction. Foundation personnel captured -C who did not resist. The window of -A then opened, revealing D17411. The interior of -A now resembles a typical fast food restaurant with various television sets displaying footage of the human occupants of the archipelago. D17411 has been designated -C-2, the former -C designated -C-1. -C2 declined explaining how it entered -A, then offered to sell the questioning agent a boat ride. Interesting. So yeah, so maybe it is Alan Pierce then, but yeah, the SCP itself is manipulating the mind, brainwashing the mind.